Yes. Yes, the microphone is muted, so that's been a good previous 15 or so minutes. So that's fantastic. That's marvellous. That was a phenomenal waste of time. Grand. Excellent. Marvellous. What a majestic case of affairs. But there you go. Never mind. I've now got nothing left to say because it now feels like a waste of time. But there you go. I suppose, unfortunately, I go to the most negative of paths immediately upon immense and unavoidable failure. So there you go. That's good. Excellent. Let's try and build this other little shriney thing. Wooden church shrine. We're just going to try building it in the corner. Excellent. We'll want to finish that off in the not too distant future. So you are polished bricks of stone. We should be able to deal with polished bricks of stone. Is that going to be the most frustrating thing in the world? Yes, yes, it is going to be the most frustrating thing in the world. We're going to come back and try and build a bunch of bits and bobs, the incense burners. So let's pop off over here and then deal with that. Energy. That's the crucial next step. Get your energy back. We do want to investigate stuff at Snake's Day because we do have that golden apple that he wanted. Now we didn't get where we needed to go. I forgot again. I did say last week I would look up to see how I dealt with the ghost situation, but we forgot. So there you go. Never mind. I'd have to live without dealing with the ghost situation, but theoretically I can because I now have a golden apple. But still, do you know? Amazingly, I don't think we've actually got much in the way of stone. So polished stone might end up being slightly more awkward than I thought. No, we've got some stone on hand, which is good. Unfortunately, it's the sort of slow go version of doing, owing to the fact that you have to, because you have to use a chisel, and I've only got the one chisel. I can't really sort of stack them up, so you kind of just have to do them one at a time. And then we need to figure out. I believe I wanted 2 of the things. I believe that's 8 in total. I don't really need any further polished stone for anything else. So yeah, one more. Oh, is that because my chisel's broken, or I just didn't? I think my chisel's broken. Excellent. That's not what we needed, because that's taken up an alarming amount of energy, which means we might not get this done. Please, come on, come on! Oh my god! Every time I try to do anything, it just says no. I need you to stop saying no to me. Please, dear God. Stop saying no. Every single fucking time. The world says no. No, you cannot have. You cannot have this thing. Nor can you have the other thing. Where's the chisel? We want the chisel in the box, ideally. At some point we'll probably want to rearrange those back in my inventory proper. They were only there so that I could fiddle around that window. Perfect. We do want to ditch the the glassware in the study area so that I can build paint? Question mark. I can't remember why I wanted glassware down here, but I definitely remember I wanted glassware down here. So for some reason, I'm assuming it's to do with my potions, lotions, and motions. But I've already got 27, but still. Oh, okay. I've capped it out. Excellent. That's what we want to see. I don't really need steel parts down here, so we'll put those there. Hope for the best, that'll do. Diddle-diddle-dee. Now back up to here so that we can finish off building this and finish off our incense burners. Not that we have any incense, of course, but Yeah. That's the best I've got. So I think it looks suspiciously like the incense kind of fits in there. And we can fit 2 incense burners here. To try and sidle past, that's the ticket. I can now drug my people with incense here. Technically speaking, it does add to the church. I could have sworn I'd got that up to 70, but apparently no, 55. It's fine. Doesn't make that much difference. Just slightly surprising to see it at 55 when I was certain I'd seen it as blooming higher than that, but never mind. I mean, there's no... I mean, I don't honestly think there's anything else that would fit in there, so I guess fitting that there will suffice. And I mean, best guess, I feel like if I can rotate them, I can't seem to rotate them. Okay, no, that's fine then. So I wonder if there you've got a choice of like 2 candelabras as opposed to a worshipping area. I don't know. I don't see the negative of building this extra thing there. Oh, that's where I got the 7. It says +7 because it minused 2, I suppose. There's nothing there. It's fine. I want to go meet Snakingtons. Come on, Mr. Snake. I don't think he'd appreciate that, but you can try. If you want to risk your life, you can come on, Snake. He may not like it. He may stab you in the face. And he may do terrible things to your body indeed. I've got a golden apple for you. Give it to me. I'll just lick it. I don't want to have too much knowledge. You want to lick too? Okay, I mean, it's sounding like he's actually a little bit more receptive to the whole coming on him after all, because he's into licking, and I think I'll take a lick as well. There's nothing wrong with 2 grown men licking each other in a basement. It's perfectly natural. Whoa, that's a lot of blow. Ah, now I understand what the last line of the ritual was about. The final ingredient. I finally know what the heart of the ancient curse is. I need a dark heart. I haven't actually learned how to do that. Is this where it's going to teach me how to do that, I suppose? Where will we get one? It's connected to the ancient curse somehow. The last living specialist is in the Inquisition cell right now. Just get close to the Lord Inquisitor, try to find out more about it. Okay, cool. I need to learn about this, that, and the other. Snake, I still need you to steal an amulet from the Lighthouse Keeper. Maybe it's not a good time. Just ate a big meal, so my reflexes are slow, you know. Although, I'll do it if you help me. You want money? It's been over a month since my cultists have caught an Inquisitor and drowned him in the river. I guess they need proper motivation. Organise rad races in your tavern for them. Okay. I can probably do that. We'd have to go to the tavern and find out precisely what we need for that. Oh, yeah, we still need to deal with Charm. Is it Charm I need to show? Oh, get the greatest love song ever. Yes. Yes, I vaguely remember. I mean, an ancient god from the Lighthouse Keeper. Yeah, that's what Snake's going to do for me at some point. Misty Quagmire. Set up the stakes. Okay, that shouldn't be too difficult. Infusion of Fly Agaric. Oh, yes, I remember that now. Build a tanning workbench. Okay. Might be able to do that. But I feel like there was someone else. No? Maybe I don't need my aristocracy papers after all. Or not on me, I suppose is the key thing. Not on me. But there you go. What we'll do is deposit it somewhere obvious, so that I don't forget where it is. I do like this one as that sort of chest, but obviously slightly problematic situation in that I've got too much hemp. So let's get the hemp. Don't need the hiccup grass. Bees probably belong elsewhere, but All these old tools probably belong elsewhere as well. Any tool that I've not studied is not hugely necessary. Or other way round. Any tool that I've studied is not hugely necessary, but I can't destroy them. Fucking weird. It feels very strange that I can't just destroy these things. Which means they are kind of just stuck. Stuck in inventory. Forevermore. And the raven calls forevermore. Forevermore. I don't know which one's more annoying. Nevermore or forevermore. Forevermore. That just sounds like a sort of a chant of, yes, we are going to go forevermore. I'm looking for a chest. Is there not a chest? A study table, alchemy workbench, workbench 2, alchemy mill, distillation cube, church workbench, no, alchemy rack, desk 2, scroll shelf, bookshelf, random text generator, and apparently no, I'm not allowed a bloody what's it? A bloody what's it? A bloody what's it? A bloody what's it? So, probably not the most efficient use of my space. Bookshelf. I mean, technically I can run bookshelves down here, I suppose. But what's the alchemy rack? Okay, I need more supplies for alchemy racks. Fine, let's see. Just pop a scroll shelf there. And I'm not going to store scrolls on it, I'm going to store shit equipment. But for now, let's study shit equipment. No, we don't want to study that. I will study these tools, though. There's no real need to, but I mean, it does get you a little bit of extra sort of experience gubbins, but I've now got sort of over 1,000 reds, so reds aren't exactly a priority at the moment, in fairness. But I've got a lot of faith, and if I've learned anything in life, you gotta have faith. The faith. You gotta have faith. So I can get science from those as well. Oh, conical flasks. Why not? Study the conical flasks. You never know, it might be important in the future to study conical flasks. Oh, I have no science. No. Decompose. Decompose. That's right. You got to get your dick out and you got to pose. That is the definition of decompose. Steel sword with gem. Why not study that? Oh, because it's going to take a fucking ice age. I wasn't expecting it to be quite so slow. But I suppose, in fairness, it's probably going to give me an awfully large volume of reds. I sort of knew that was going to be the case, but, you know, I didn't fully acknowledge that it was going to be quite so long. A little bit of green for studying that. I am one with the green. Swamp Thing, by the way. I've been playing DC's Injustice recently. Very entertaining game. Quite annoying in the fact that it's a fighting game that I can't do. But outside of that, it's a very entertaining game. I love the storyline. I'm hopeful that they'll do a third one. It did look like there was suggestion there was going to be a third one in the not too distant future. It does seem to have been quite some time. It's one of those interesting ones. I feel like of late there does seem to be sort of less. Feels like there's less game being released. I think I heard someone else say that, and I was slightly dismissive of it. But now it's suddenly dawned on me that it's a little bit more like, actually, what they may have a point regarding that. It does feel like there's not a lot of stuff being released at the moment, but I suppose in fairness there perhaps is. I assume you mean less AAA games. Yeah, I suppose, yeah, that is roughly what I'm referring to. But I suppose it may still be recovering from pandemic times, perhaps. Some kind of recuperation there. But yeah, just slightly less releases from those, but still. So yeah, I suppose, yeah, I guess Injustice is probably AAA game, isn't it, really? I was thinking Injustice wasn't necessarily AAA. Unless maybe it's, I don't know, it might be slightly less than that, I have no idea, but still. I know there's been some games pushed back, yeah, a fair few. Where are my documents? I don't need that sword, so we'll pop that sword in there, assuming that's not the sword I use in a general everyday sense. No, it's not. Excellent. Orange jelly. I feel like there should be orange jelly here somewhere. There is orange jelly here somewhere. But you also have to remember that some publishers have gone insane. I suppose technically, which publishers specifically have gone insane? I'm curious. What is the specific story, perhaps, behind the idea of publishers having gone insane? Because I don't doubt it. I'm just curious if there's a specific one that you're thinking of by that sentiment. Ubisoft and Activision / Blizzard mostly. And what have they been up to then? Because I know Ubisoft are certainly announcing the next Assassin's Creed games. Be it the next one that they seem to be sort of popping back to the old school way of doing it. You know, a la OG sort of Assassin's Creed, which could be quite fun. I do sort of... I can't deny, I still, you know, whatever the company's doing, I don't know, I don't necessarily hold the games to be sort of like... But yeah, so I've liked Assassin's Creed from the very beginning, and I liked Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I liked Odyssey, and I liked, you know, all of them. So it's nice to see it going back to its older roots, and I still look forward to the idea of enjoying that one whilst also enjoying the potential new. Because I think there's going to be a side. A small version of a Japanese Assassin's Creed type thing. Then there's going to be a big, sort of the Valhalla style RPG Japanese based one. All of this may be wrong, so don't quote me on it. And then there's also going to be the one following Basim in the sort of Middle Easty areas, which is going to be based around the idea of going back to the old style of, you know, playing the game Assassin's Creed 2 style stuff, which I think will be quite fun. And I quite like the fact that they're going to try and... It may go horribly wrong, I suppose, because they may be trying to bite off more than they can chew. But I like the idea of having the two sides, having that more action-oriented gameplay of, you know, Assassin's Creed 1 through to 4, I suppose. Yeah, no, 5 was Unity, I think, or something, wasn't it? So it was slightly more than 4, but what have you. But yeah, I like the fact that they're going to do both, is the honest truth. Because I used to love the sort of action style, whilst also loving the RPG action style. Ooh. So Activision Blizzard, by cannibalising every studio they had to make more COD maps, well, I mean, I suppose the thing is, as loathsome as it is, if they need... If COD is the one bringing the cash in, and they're requiring the cash, I guess it's not quite such a terrible idea, but I don't know. It does, I assume it does probably stop them from doing other properties, which is going to be unfortunate, because even I don't tend to play COD nowadays. I used to play a little bit of Call of Duty, but I just got tired of dying all the time, so I got bored of the thing. But there you go. And Ubisoft for deciding after Valhalla that they wanted to make an Assassin's Creed live service game platform that they spent the last few years trying to make, which seems to have gone nowhere, as they're now releasing normal games. I see. Yes, okay. Yeah, live service game platform that they spent. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good idea. Just release a game in a normal, ordinary fashion, guys. I'm massively egotistical here, suggesting that Ubisoft are listening to me. But hey guys, just hop on in for a moment, guys. Ubisoft, yeah. Assassin's Creed, fucking good games. Don't fuck about with them, yeah. Just build the game, release the game. People will buy the game. You'll make some money. We'll have our game. Jobs are good. It's worked for many years. Don't fuck about with it. Simples, mate. Simples, love. I can't remember what else I needed, which is going to be a problem because it means I'm going to have to walk all the way back, but never mind. Let's put some bees and some honey away. I do now have plenty of sticks. I feel like it's going to be planks, if anything, so let's build some more planks. Right, so, but it's not really bringing the cash in. Oh, you're right. Well, it's not really bringing the cash in. And Blizzard for doing everything I feel like there's a... sorry, you've already corrected it. They can. It's just missing can, that's fine. For some reason I couldn't read that properly. Like, it's not exactly difficult to comprehend, but for some reason my brain was just going, nope, you can't understand the sentence at all. But yes, everything they can to make Overwatch 2 a game no one wants. Intriguing. I've only heard like a minor amount about Overwatch 2, in that it might not be a terrible thing that they've sort of... Because Overwatch 1, I think, just sort of stumbled somewhat, and then they ditched it, were silent for a little while, and then went, hey, we'll do Overwatch 2 now. Was my understanding of it, and seemingly it was doing okay, but sounds like maybe it's not. I don't know. Anyway, can we find the Tanner? Because if we can find the Tanner, we can possibly hand in that quest. But unfortunately, I'm not sure what the Tanner looks like. I think the Tanner is here somewhere. Tanner. Okay, so it's the woman in the apron, but I think the woman in the apron's disappeared into a hut because it's too late. Yeah, it's late night, so I'm going to have to leave that one. Arg. Argle, blargle, blargle, arg. And then there's the whole Ubisoft might have their legs broken by Taiwan's government over Skull and Bones. Oh, that's an intriguing one. Pray do tell. Are there more details on that? I know Skull and Bones was all very excited about releasing soon, and then they had to delay it again. I'm assuming is this to do with the delay in some fashion? In some fashion, is this delay related? But yeah, that's mildly intriguing. My understanding is Overwatch was getting worse over time. Yeah, I think that was generally So my understanding of Overwatch is based on watching a video to do with Sea of Thieves, and so you may be thinking, what's that got to do with Overwatch? Well, it was a discussion of whether Sea of Thieves is dying, and therefore what Rare could do about it. Now, I don't necessarily think Sea of Thieves is dying, but this was one of those sort of, I've got to make a video this week, so I'm going to make a video about something, sort of videos, I think. So it's all heavily theorising, based on stuff, and trying to make controversy where there's probably no controversy, and making topics where there are no topics, but because, you have to make a video, they had to make a video. But the crucial detail is they were discussing how Overwatch went, and the idea where Overwatch was sort of getting worse and worse, which lines up with that notion you've mentioned there, until finally they pulled the plug and went, no, okay, we're not gonna do any further Overwatch stuff. And it was at that point. So this is the astrologer's day. Shall we go at least talk to the astrologer? I don't think there's anything I can do with the astrologer at the moment, but let's have a look. No, it's just trading. Okay, that's fine. We don't need anything from you, sir. What we'll do is try and get to the pub now, since the pub is quite close. We'll have a look at that. I don't think these little scenes... They're amusing, but not important. An astonishingly fat woman carrying a crowbar is looking for someone. Her face is crimson with fury and she's breathing heavily. The lighthouse keeper has returned to the lighthouse singing a funny song. He's carrying a fishing rod and a bucket of fish. He sees the woman and she sees him. She rushes towards him. He throws down the rod and bucket, runs towards the cliff and leaps from it into the sea. Oh my. I take it he did not please his wife. The long and short of it is that Overwatch 2 got announced as a new game that would have a big single-player component. Then they pushed back Overwatch 2's single-player stuff, and then they shut down Overwatch when they launched Overwatch 2, which has maps that are identical to Overwatch 1 maps, but they take place 8 hours later. Interesting, and weird, and not necessarily great choices there, no. But, wait, oh, it's a trough. I looked at that and my immediate thoughts were, what's that meter there? But it's not, it's a little trough for, you know, horses, if we get any horses around here. I don't think there are any horses around here. Okay, so we want... Oh! Okay, I can't do a rat race, it would seem. Move over, please, thank you. Reputation bar fills with every drop of alcohol you sell. Completely filling the bar will earn you a reputation star. What's that mean? It's simple. We need reputation stars to hold events at the tavern. Why do we want events? Because it's fun. Events. Okay, so maybe the rat race is at level 2. Okay, intriguing. Okay, fair enough. The longer time has gone on, the more Overwatch 2 looks like a patch for the first game. Yes. As I say, this video seemed a little bit more positive, but maybe it was just putting a sort of positive spin on it. When you have to connect to the Battle.net account to a mobile phone number to play Overwatch 2. Well, I mean, a lot of them like to have some kind of mobile number nowadays for the two-factor doings. No. Oh, shitey ball bags. I need to skip the text, but not skip anything else. Right. Oh, right, not for the two-factor. Okay, interesting. What do they need? That's intriguing, and again, probably unnecessary, so, yeah. They do seem to be trying their best to make it shit. Fair enough. You need to give Blizzard your mobile number to play Overwatch 2. Interesting. Have they given some kind of justification? I mean, it sounds like the only, you know, it's going to be a shit justification. It's to combat toxicity. Okay. So they have at least tried to give some justification. I had a feeling it was going to be something like that. That's what Sony and PlayStation did a little while back. They went with this idea that you have to have your real name input in there in order to, you know, try and stop the, you know, they were trying to combat the idea of the anonymity, allowing people to be toxic. But yeah, it's all just more data grabbing and data selling, I suspect, isn't it? Which is a little depressing, that the world is so obsessed by petty, pointless things, such as the need for overwhelming money. I was watching Star Trek the other day, because basically I was waiting for Star Trek Stranger Worlds? Strange New Things? I think it's Stranger Worlds. I was waiting for that to sort of conclude so that I could then download them all and sort of basically watch them on a fairly sort of steady go, you know, one only to discover that I had Strange New Worlds and Discovery Series 4 to watch, and I don't know where I'm going in terms of the game. I'm just sort of wandering and hoping to get some kind of inspiration as to what I want to do. Put the bat wings away, that'll do nicely as a primary. Well, yeah, and then I ended up with a load more Star Trek is the key thing. I wanted Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and I ended up with Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Prodigy. Prodigy? Prodigy. Prodigy. Would you like to prod Baby G? I don't know. Should I be prodding the baby? I don't think I should be prodding the baby. The baby doesn't like to be prodded. Anyway, the precise nature of what I was watching is what I ended up downloading is unimportant. But a lot of Star Trek, has been being watched. That's the only real detail. It was interesting seeing, of course, they mention one of the key things that creates the Federation and stuff. And it's interesting. It's like a big nuclear war. For anybody who's never watched Star Trek, I think the idea is there was sort of the world on the teetering on the edge of destruction, and then basically it teetered too far, and nuclear war. And it was interesting. I looked it up because I was mildly curious what time frame this nuclear war was supposed to be, just in case Star Trek turns out to be 100% prophetic. It's 2026, so hey, 3 years, and we may be in a nuclear war of destruction and hellfire, and the world will come to a swift and inevitable conclusion. But then we get to go travelling in space. Swings and roundabouts, isn't it, really? Nuclear devastation, space travel. But yeah, it's weird how how much it feels like the world is teetering on the brink, only for it to then sort of slightly suggest, even more so, that the world is perhaps teetering further on the brink, and that Star Trek is predicting that the world is going to collapse in 2026. But anyway, that's not hugely important. The Skull and Bones thing. So, Ubisoft taking a grant from the Taiwanese government to make a brand new IP that would be significantly from other games. Skull and Bones was announced, then disappeared, and it's coming out soon, seemingly because the time window Ubisoft were given to make the game is coming to an end. If they don't ship a game, they have to give them back the money. Interesting. And yet they've delayed it again, apparently. But yeah, it's intriguing. But yeah, I mean, in fairness, they could probably release Skull and Bones. Significantly different. Yeah, I sort of... This time, it worked in my brain. Unlike the last time where it just didn't work in my brain, this time it did just sort of work. My brain worked for a bit, which was quite useful. But yeah, as I say, technically, but yeah, still, as I say, I would think from what I've seen of Skull and Bones, they could probably whip it out and sell it now, if need be. It wouldn't necessarily be finished, but then, well, let's be honest. How many games can you say that about these days? An alarming volume. An alarming volume of games come out unfinished, and then they go, yeah, patch it, patch it quick, patch it again. It's not patching. Patch it more. Patch the patch that won't patch. But still. You don't think the Taiwanese government would like that? Interesting. Maybe I've misunderstood the gist. But surely if the Taiwanese government is supposed to... No, I suppose they probably wouldn't like it, but it would get them, you know... It would get them round the problem of paying the money back, if I'm understanding the thing correctly, of course. Which is rare, so... I am one of the thickest human beings around, it seems. Let us go. Gather my grapes. And my hops. I do require more hops. Ooh, but they might then be in breach of contract. Oh, I see. That would be an issue, yes. No, I was going to say, it does sound like a shady deal that's perhaps been going there and now coming back to bite them on the ass. Which is unwise. It's unwise to make yourself shady deals. I need more compost in this area. So I suppose go and get more compost. Oh, okay. Let us find out in what way dumb. In what way dumb. Nope. He not dumb. He smart. He not dumb. He dumb, not smart. Could you possibly be snart instead? Which is one letter away and is a villain from DC. Again, been playing a lot of Injustice lately. And I must admit, I grew slightly attached to playing as Captain Cold because I think he might be really shit. I don't know. It's just it's one of those ones where again you don't necessarily have. It's sort of a partial. I'm giving you partial information instead of a full description of the entirety of the game, but essentially there are superpowers that you can activate throughout the game. Someone like Superman, they have their sort of, he gets to just buff himself basically. Wonder Woman, I think she gets to sort of praise a god, and that god will give her a buff of some kind. So I believe she can praise Hermes and she gets a speed buff. I think she praises Hestia and that gives any lasso based stuff a boost. So each one has something slightly different. Batman has his little batarangs that he throws at people. Or they're sort of meant to be like remote control batarangs that flit around him, and then he can sort of pew pew pew, and it just sort of it's an interrupt, I think, more than anything else for Batman. But yeah, so you've got all of these, whereas poor Captain Cold, his one is, from what I can tell, now I may be misjudging it perhaps, I don't know. It's always difficult to know for certain sometimes with these, where I might not understand and I might be missing something crucial. But the weird thing is you actually have to charge his op. And this is a fairly speedy, fast fighting game. So opportunities to charge your damn gun op don't come around that often. It's one of those weird ones. It's a bit like I was playing Scarecrow as well. And his one is charge based. But his one is an automatic charge based thing. Hello my friend. It finally rained in the town. It didn't make any real difference, but now their faith in me is higher than before. So I'm going to take this opportunity to make reforms to help the poor and get rid of the Inquisition's cruelty. My brother has the same thoughts. We were born in a poor family, so their struggles are very personal to us. You're a good man after all, your holiness. My kindness and greatness are vast indeed. Keep everything going smoothly and we'll make the town a better place. Scarecrow sort of charges automatically just by activating it. You basically have to activate it and then use fear gas, and that charges it more. But you are exuding fear gas as part of that ability, so you're always charging it. So even if you don't use an extra fear gas maneuver, you are still charging your meter by just using the ability. Whereas Captain Cold is literally, you have to stand there sort of playing with your gun for a prolonged period of time, and it's like very impractical. So it feels like he might be one of the worst characters, but maybe I'm as I say, maybe I'm misjudging him. Whereas Harley Quinn is potentially one of the best characters because she's got fantastic combat, fantastic abilities, and birthday cakes. In fairness, actually, she does. She throws cupcakes at people that explode. It's quite fun. But her super meter is her dogs, essentially. Not dogs, the hyenas. She has 2 hyenas, and basically she throws a bit of meat, and the hyena dashes across the screen and knocks the enemy on their arse. And that's a very useful ability. Whereas, as I say, Captain Cold got the shitty end of the stick by having to go. I'll just 1 second. There you go. I'm just charging that up. It's marvellous. Getting in the habit of birthday caking when you least expect it. Now, see, the problem is, I'm always expecting a birthday cake. So therefore, you can never truly get it when I least expect it. Doodly-doo. Anyway, so back to this. So they took the money to make a studio in Singapore, yeah, with a minimum percentage of the employees being Taiwanese. Okay, I was confused for a second because I forgot that Singapore was the capital of Taiwan. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's fair. Right. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. We might as well put our stuff. Yeah, we want to get our grapes at... Right, son. Get your grapes there. I want to see your grapes. I want to see your grapes right now. Show me your grapes. Oh, I need to crush. Oh, I could crush a grape. And I shall do so. I shall do grape crushing. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Crush my grapes. You would not believe the grapes that I can crush. Oh, I could crush a grape. I've got two more crushes within my soul. My soul has been crushed. Yes, it has. I'll tell you what, we'll do double silvers. That'll do nicely. Very good. Quickly go back to you mentioning Star Trek. I'm glad you're enjoying your sci-fi series, because I'm having a miserable time with the one I'm watching. Oh, what's the one you're watching? What are you watching as a sci-fi series? Oh, what, pray tell, are you watching as a sci-fi series? Are you suddenly gonna besmirch something that I absolutely love? We shall see. We shall soon very much see. Talking of sci-fi series, there's a lot of Korean ones coming over, which struck me as peculiar. There's one called Monstrous and one called Train, or The Train maybe, but they're both on the Sci-Fi channel, and they are Korean with subtitles, and it just struck me as a bit peculiar. I'm not, it doesn't affect me. I don't plan on watching them. They looked quite interesting, but I'm very lazy when it comes to watching TV, and I don't fancy reading it. I either read a book or I watch TV. I don't want to read my TV. Right, what we got going on? Let's put... Oh, I suppose we've got some grapey things. That would be the Squid Game effect. Oh, is it really? Oh, I didn't realise Squid Game... Is that a sort of... I'm assuming... Was that Korean or Japanese or something else? Was it Korean? I didn't know it was Korean. That was Korean, okay. I did not know that. I thought that was just another American-y one. It's because I don't have Netflix. I haven't really kept up or paid attention to Squid Game. I know the name, but outside of that, I know very little. But yeah, okay, that now makes a lot more sense. So, Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta. Interesting. And what is wrong with Mobile... MSGZ. There you go. Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta. How many little bits of extra thing can you throw on a title? Oh shit, that's Man's Day. No, it's not. No, that's Women's Day. Women's Day is of no consequence or significance to me. We did. Now, did we ever figure out where we build Fly Organic? I don't know if we did. Universal bag. Paper globs. Prayer for faith. Clean books. Fly Organic. I need you to fly. Fly, my pretties. Fly like you've never flown before. No. no, apparently we haven't, which is interessante. An infusion of fly agaric. Don't know. Problem is that I want to launch the main cast out of the window. Interesting. What have they done to cause such ire? They must have done something to Hercule so. Hercule Poirot. No, I don't think Hercule Poirot's got anything to do with this. Unless he turned up and was investigating the cast of Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta. Where would you build Fly Agaric? Truth, do you know, I'll tell you the truth. I'm not entirely sure what Fly Agaric is, which makes life difficult as to know where you would actually prepare it. I can make a cheesecake. Cheesecake. I can't actually make a cheesecake because I don't have the ingredients for a cheesecake, but apart from that, it's all good. I can definitely make a cheesecake. Don't think any of this is helping with my Fly Agaric. It's intriguing because I don't think I've got any other workstations that would prepare Fly Agaric. No. Jewellery table. Can't imagine a jewellery table would prepare Fly Agaric. Furnace we've already looked in. But I wouldn't have imagined a furnace would do it. Unless maybe... I mean... it was not a terrible notion. And again, not a terrible notion. Oh dear, my computer is not happy right now. Which I suppose in fairness is lucky. Probably going to be putting away in a moment. Don't know precisely what's wrong with it. But it is definitely having a bit of a hissy fit at the moment. We shall have to hope for the best, that it doesn't completely fuck me over, because that would suck. So are you a desk? You're a church workbench, and you are a desk. Now, there was the option for a hand mixer. I think we've got a hand mixer. Alchemy Workbench 2 is the triple bottle we've already got. Distillation Cube, yes. Alchemy Mill, yes. Alchemy Rack we've got plenty of. Okay, so Desk 2. Maybe I feel like it's not going to be anything to do with desk. But I don't think I've got a lens. Let's go see if I can build a lens. I don't even know if I've got the technology open to build lenses. I suppose we'll have a look. Well, there's a Distillation Cube 2. It could be worthwhile. Could go for the embalming liquids. Great details, that's fair. So I'll try to give a short version. The major issue is that the main character of the series, Camille, is a fantastically irritating character. Not a good choice of character then, but the show constantly tries to make out like he's being reasonable. This was annoying but tolerable, but since I got into the last 15 or so episodes, everyone has decided to become more annoying. Interesting. As I think I had the sort of almost, well, not the opposite effect, because they were never particularly annoying in the first place, but I have been watching... I finished, I suppose is the key thing, I finished my Yu-Gi-Ohs the other day. So I watched the dramatic finale where you have Yugi versus Atem, and it's like, oh, this is incredible, what a fantastic duel. And it really is, it's a magnificent duel that those two have at the end. But yeah, that was absolutely brilliant. It's nothing like what you've said. I just wanted the opportunity to say I've watched Yu-Gi-Oh. There you go. Can't help it. That was about it. I haven't really got anything else on the subject there either. So I like Yu-Gi-Oh. I watched Yu-Gi-Oh. It was enjoyable. But yeah, it was interesting to sort of. I think the last time I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh, I drifted away at around about the round about the sort of Atlantis, the Seal of Orichalcos saga. I ended up drifting away from it at that point, and so it was interesting sort of coming back to it. I've left it too late for the bloody Tanner again, haven't I? Bollocks. Now I'm just sort of stuck in the middle of nowhere indeed. But yeah, so it was nice rewatching the sort of Dawn of the Duel saga, which I think was very enjoyable. And I must admit, it's fascinating. A little tiny detail I never really considered before is the fact that they did darken the skin of Yugi when he was Pharaoh Yugi, and Bakura when he was Bandit King Bakura. And I must admit, I don't even know if I'd have noticed particularly had I not looked up. Had I not looked up the sort of information regarding Bakura, I probably wouldn't have really noticed that the little thing said. And while he's Bandit King Bakura, he's actually looking, he actually has slightly darker skin. It was like, oh shit, yeah, he does. And it was very much like, does the Pharaoh? Shit, yeah, the Pharaoh does as well. Which is quite, I don't know, quite reasonable. I thought it was quite good attention to detail, because obviously, they're meant to be Egyptians. So the fact that they did sort of give them a slightly differing skin tone for when they were back in their Egyptian bodies, I thought was quite good. I like the bit in the final series where Bakura gets defeated, then rewinds time, and while Atem is confused about the rewind, Bakura fucks off. Yes. It's a little bit more. It's not literally just he's confused and Bakura fucks off. There's a little bit more to it there, I think. Because Bakura doesn't just fuck off, he throws the Pharaoh down into a hole and then fucks off, I suppose. And then also infuses Tristan with a piece of his soul. Old cocky bums. No, I didn't miss what I thought I was going to miss, but I equally don't have what I needed. It's fine. Let's put the bees away. I think it's 10. I need 10 for that. I don't really know where I want to put the honeycomb, but I guess there will suffice for now. Let's put the bat wings in an appropriate place, and I think it's probably about, it's about the right time. Oh, we've got the wine. That's good. Did we have space for one more wine? Yes, we did. Got space for one more wine. Oh, please. I don't think you understand. I just want one more wine. But I must admit, I think I really... Oh, it's not finished. I thought it was finished. Blast. But I must admit, I think Bakura is the best villain of the entire sort of series, because I love... I don't know the name of the fella behind the voice acting for Bakura, but whoever it is did such a great job, and I absolutely adore listening to Bakura. He is just so beautifully evil, and I absolutely love it beyond belief. But still, it's fantastic. So like the bit where the gang gets attacked by bandits, and then as one of them is about to kill Joey, a dual disc appears on his wrist and blocks a sword strike. Yeah, I know. It's so stupid. And then they just suddenly learn to fly. It's got its problems. But overall, I think it is probably the most sort of enjoyable of the series. That's true, because if it's not made of some light alloy or light plastic or something, that is going to just weigh people down, something drastic. But yeah. Anyway, that's the end of Graveyard Keeper, because I kind of run out of oomph and things to do in it. But we'll try and carry on next time and get a little bit further. That's all you can really hope for in it. Just once a week, get a little bit further. A little bit further and a little bit further. Every day is Arm Day in Dino City. True. It must be if they are heavy enough to sort of deflect the sword. But yeah, it's that nice bit of sort of suspending your disbelief for the sake of story, I suppose. But yeah, it's quite entertaining. But Mombasa. is possibly best left undiscussed. Because there's a little bit that's like, oh no, I don't, oh no, oh dear, I don't think he should exist, oh dear, oh no, oh my. Please stop having him as a character now, it's making me feel uncomfortable. Quite entertaining and served a purpose, but is sort of like, ugh. How could you say that Bakura is the best villain? Because I think he probably does the best villain laugh in the entire series. But I'm curious who you're going to perhaps put forth as best villain. Because, I mean, you'll be wrong, because best villain is Bakura. Or technically, I suppose, Zork, but spoiler alert. It doesn't work if you spoiler alert after you've done the spoiler. I just assumed if you said spoiler alert, you finished it. Oh, the previous season where the villain is Alexander the Great, yeah. I mean, in fairness, he wasn't a terrible villain. He was quite compelling as the sort of dark side. But yeah, Alexander the Great was a bit out of left field when it was like, oh, Alexander the Great. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'll take this. I'll accept this. It's weird. Especially the idea of, like, I suppose arguably it's Seto and Yugi are both meant to be the descendants. Same with Bakura, in fairness, he's meant to be the descendant. So the idea of descendants being there is not unreasonable, but the series of coincidences that brought... I mean, okay, I think I understand. The series of coincidences that brought Yugi there were sort of fate-based stuff, I suppose. And I suppose you could argue the same for this other side as well. But the idea that the sort of our generation of Alex just happens to be in the place where his great ancestor was is like, oh, it's farcical. But I suppose, you know, the idea that their plane crash landed at exactly the right moment, exactly the right location, exactly the right situation is all farcical as well. But again, I suppose they get away with it being fated. It's all fated. Can't wait until get to that with Nick when we finally watch you go. Yeah, I imagine it's going to be a thing. I imagine it's going to be a hell of a thing. But yeah, I was quite pleased, and I look forward because I don't think I've watched this film since it came out in the cinema. But I picked up the Blu-ray. Don't need to specify Blu-ray. It's just, I don't know. I usually just say DVD, but technically it's a Blu-ray. It doesn't matter though. I picked up Blu-ray of I think it's Pyramid of Light. I want to say Pyramid of Light, which is the Yu-Gi-Oh! First movie, Yu-Gi-Oh! And apparently it's no longer canon. Whether it ever was meant to be canon or not, I don't know, but I think it's no longer canon. Don't know precisely when it was taken out of canon, but nonetheless, it's apparently not canon. Yeah, I do sort of look forward to that. Blue Eyes Shining? I think so, yes. Because I think, if memory serves, and I don't know, none of this I know for certain. None of this I know for certain, because it's many years ago. But I think I went to the cinema, and I think they gave you the Blue Eyes Shining Dragon as a card when you popped to the cinema. And, yeah. So I think the last time I watched the film was in the cinema, which must be 10, 15 years, I'm thinking. Maybe even longer. I don't know. So it's going to be very interesting. I do look forward to watching that at some point. I don't know precisely when I'm going to watch it, but I do look forward to it. And then I also want to watch I can't remember what it's called, but there's the sort of time travel-y one with, I think, if memory serves, I can't remember, but I think it starts with 5Ds and then sort of Bonds Beyond Time. Yes, that's the one. But I think it starts as 5Ds and then you end up back at GX and you end up back with Yugi and stuff. But I can't remember. Certainly, yeah. I know it is all... I know it's the free 5D, GX and original, but I can't remember precisely how it starts. I think it starts in the 5D universe. Or, I suppose, technically, the 5D universe is meant to be a timeline-based thing of GX and the original. It gets a bit sort of wishy-washy the later you go. Like, original followed up by GX, 100% spot on timeline, because you even have Pegasus and reference to Kyra and stuff in GX. And then 5Ds gets a little bit more, probably, maybe, yeah, sort of. And then post 5Ds, I think it's just whatever. We don't care anymore. We're just making series. Yeah, 5D is sort of meant to be. Yes. Is Mokuba in it? I don't remember that. No, I don't remember that. Interesting. Because I was fairly confident that 5Ds was well past any of the characters. I got the impression it was very far down the timeline. Well, if they are sort of travelling big hops and skips down timelines, I think, then. Because certainly something like Arc 5, especially Arc 5 in fairness, because that's multiversal, doesn't feel like it sits in the same world as the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Likewise with Arc 5. In fact, sorry, I just said Arc 5. I meant Zexal. Especially Zexal. Because... Oh, actually, yeah. No. Oh, that's GX. That's GX, isn't it? Because that's the Neo-Spatians, right? And created aliens that believe that all that matters are card games. Yeah, I feel like that's GX. Still. Because that's the Neo-Spatians. Correct or incorrect? I don't know. Maybe. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I think the Neo-Spatians existed as cards because Jaden won a contest to send them into space. And then eventually he gets them back and uses them as cards, despite the fact that they're clearly illegal. Because they're not actual cards. And yet somehow they are. Classic Yu-Gi-Oh! What do you mean he's playing that card? Surely it's illegal. Yeah, it probably is, but, you know, Dual Disc says yes, so fuck it, we got to carry on, haven't we? But yeah, so the reason why I don't think Zexal fits in the idea of it being a timeline is I think Zexal feels like it's actually a slight back jump in technology. And the reason I say that is because instead of the holographic technology that the others use, where it's just holograms that everybody can see. Now, I suppose maybe this was I don't know, maybe the world complained and said, we can't just have holographic monsters running around. Yeah, can't you confine them in some way? Oh, all right, we'll stick them in glasses or something. But yeah, Zexal feels like it's a back step in technology because they have to use the dual gazer in order to basically, I think the idea is see the duels and the monsters and stuff. Which, as I say, it feels like a back step because of the whole technology being, you know, holograms and shit. Dual gazer, yes. I knew it. The moment you typed it, I was like, he's going for it, isn't he? He's going for it. He's gonna have a pop at that one. He's gonna have a pop at it. But yeah, I haven't decided yet. I'm slightly tempted. I definitely want to watch the films. So yeah, Pyramid of Light, which yeah, it'll be fascinating looking out for the idea of, look out, Kaiba, there's a naked man behind you. That doesn't surprise me that would be a thing. He's probably a big buff naked man as well. That wouldn't surprise me either. But yeah, I look forward to having a go with Pyramid of Light. Then I'm going to probably have a go with Bonds Beyond Time. And then I definitely want to watch the Dark Side of Dimension, is it? I think it's called. Something along those lines. Something to do with dimensions, isn't it? So I want to watch those 3 films. But outside of that, I don't know. I haven't made a decision yet. I'm slightly tempted to go straight into Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. But has a plot that makes no sense, but it's nice. Yeah. I mean, it's basically, what if we stuck your favourite protagonist next to your other favourite protagonist, next to your other favourite protagonist. Oh! And everybody just went, yeah. And the developers probably went, do we have to justify it? Nah, we couldn't give a shit, mate. Make it a good duel. Put all three of them in. It's good. Chaz it up. I liked Chaz. He was a dick, but he had a long coat, and I liked him. And yes, the way to my heart is a long coat. We've discussed this in the past, that alarmingly, all of my favourite characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Have the best coats. So, Seto Kaiba, I mean, he's like the origin of the big coat. He's like the pinnacle. Nobody can come close to Kaiba for big coats. They've tried, but nobody's ever beaten Kaiba. Then Chaz and Cyber Dragon Boy, whose name I can't remember. Big brother to Cyrus. Can't think of his name. He had when he went dark side, he had a fantastic coat. He had an okay coat when he was light side, but dark side, beautiful. Then, yeah, I think most of the Jack Atlas, Zane, that's it, Zane Truesdale, that's the one. Nick called me out on something equivalent to your love of chess. Oh, what was that then? What have you been? What's your tell for which character you're going to enjoy in a series? Because mine really is concerningly the moment someone turns up in a big long coat. It's like, I mean, I'm probably going to like you, and about 75% of that like is that coat. A girl that punches things. In fairness, I don't blame you there. What's the one I'm thinking of? It's Nick did play it. The RPG. French in origin, I believe. Battle Chasers. That's the one. Pretty certain the protagonist in that is a girl who punches things. So I imagine you quite enjoyed that. She had the sort of big stone-crushing fist type thing. I feel like there's one more recently that I remember seeing as well, but maybe not. Don't know. Anyway. Yes, so I haven't decided whether I'm going to go straight into GX, have a break, then do GX, or do something like, something else entirely, perhaps. It's every time, I know. I know. It's like, you almost don't want to. It's almost like, do you know what? The next time I see someone in a long coat, I'm going to dislike them. But then they just, so very compelling most of the time. Anyway, it's now midnight, so I think it's probably best we wind it down and I say cheerio, because otherwise neither of us are going to get to bed, and that doesn't make too much difference to me, but it might make some difference to you. So I will probably be back next week. No immediate reason why I won't be. Can't guarantee I will, but there's no real reason why I won't be. If you did want to catch up on Monkey Island 1, then it is on the YouTube channel, the Tubes of Ewingtons. If you fancy that in your delectations. Fancy that for your delectation. It is available. Next week, we'll carry on with Secret of Monkey Island. Monkey Island 2, LeChuck's Revenge, and see how far we can get. See if we can find the treasure of Big Whoop. I must admit, probably not next week. I suspect we will not be finding the treasure of Big Whoop next week. It'll probably be the week after. In between times, I don't know. Probably not again. Truth be told, probably not. But you never know. Again, there's always the potential that somehow, some way, I'm just going to suddenly go, yes, I want to do this, and then I'll actually do it. That's the hard part. Anyway, I will say cheerio.